roads, the whole of London and its suburbs seemed to be writhing like a gigantic, ugly chrysalis, threatening to break out into a new concept of life. Keating lavished praise on the sparkling nature of Sim's prose, and, pointing out that a crime novel that is about a man changing is a rarity indeed, he appreciated that intense interest in the hero that makes him a man. We seem to know in the flesh and to the depths. Yet, he also acknowledged that Sim's approach to his craft had limitations, such as an overindulgence in descriptive writing and a tendency to digress from the storyline. For Keating, these flaws stemmed from the fact that Sims was an amateur novelist who, despite possessing notable literary gifts, was first and foremost a man with a day job, that is, as an antiquarian bookseller. I'm not so sure that the perceived amateurism has much to do with being a part-time crime writer. Rather, it stems from Sim's determination to follow his instincts and avoid the formulaic at all costs. He was a writer who habitually took risks, and when those risks came off, they resulted in a writing that was both fresh and memorable. Sims is skilled at capturing the atmosphere of places that attracted him, and in this book, the scene set in Henry Parfitt's scruffy bookshop off the Clerkenwell Road draws on his fascination with and deep knowledge and understanding of such haunts, most of them today long gone. His love of what Keating called nuttily interesting facts, very often about aspects of London life, lends his stories texture, and there's also a lightly worn erudition about his work that explains part of its appeal. The title of his first crime novel, The Terrible Door, 1964, came from F. Scott Fitzgerald, while The Last Best Friend is a phrase by which Robert Southey described death. Sims, 1923 to 99, spent most of his adult life as an antiquarian book dealer. War was one of his customers, and this helps to explain why Balfour, like the assorted other dealers who populate his novels, is such a credible character. An interview with Books and Bookmen captured Sim's method of building a story. The plots are entirely imaginary, problems to be solved, but the people are real, as are many of the incidents, but brooded over, reassembled, translated, so that no actual person appears, yet every personage has the stamp of actuality. The dark mood of many of his storylines reflected his sombre world view. As he told Weekend Scotsman, "You'll never find a happy ending in any of my books, because life doesn't end happily." The Last Best Friend, like The End of the Web, which is also published as a British Library classic thriller, reveals Sims as a writer who dared to be different. The unorthodoxy and occasional opacity of his writing meant that he was destined never to become a bestseller. But his contribution to the genre was intriguing and deserves to be remembered. Martin Edwards. www.martinedwardsbooks.com. Chapter 1. 2 p.m, Monday the 1st of August, 1966. Paddington, London. Vertigo? Giddiness, dizziness, in which the patient feels as if surrounding objects were turning round. The small man standing on the narrow ledge stared fixedly forward with eyes made wide and blank by terror. His face was ashen, and veins stood out in his forehead as though he was straining to vomit. Very slowly, he edged 1 foot sideways without looking down, but the movement was indecisive and feeble, like that of a dying insect, and he brought it back clumsily, so that for a second he trod the terrifying emptiness that lay before him. When both feet were together again, there was a sudden movement in his dark brown eyes, spiralling down to meet the treacherous, shifting surfaces of roofs and streets which began to spin below him. As they gathered speed, his left arm was pressed ever tighter against the wall's smooth stone blocks, and his fingers